Welcome back to Lions News Fan Report, where we bring you the latest and most exciting Lions updates every single day. Today, we've got an intriguing development that has the entire Motor City buzzing. Offensive line guru Hank Freley, who was fresh off a personal interview with the Seattle Seahawks for their offensive coordinator position, has chosen to remain with the Detroit Lions for the 2025 season, adding the title of Run Game Coordinator to his resume. But what really went on behind the scenes? Could this decision signal deeper shifts in Detroit's coaching outlook? Is Freley secretly positioning himself for a future head coaching gig? Let's dive in. Just a few days ago, reports surfaced that Freley, architect of one of the NFL's most dominant offensive lines, was on the verge of leaving. He had flown coast to coast for an in-person interview with Seahawks defensive-minded coach Mike Macdonald. The rumors had Lions fans on edge. What would losing Freley mean for a line that has kept Jared Goff upright and unleashed nearly 2,000 rushing yards in 2024? The thought of tackling another rebuild of left tackles and guards sent chills through our ranks. Then came the statement that stopped us all in our tracks. Freley affirmed he's staying in Detroit, now in his 8th season, because his family and the culture Dan Campbell has built here are irreplaceable. He spoke about his 3rd child heading off to college, the expense of 3 tuitions, and the stability Michigan has provided compared to their nomadic coaching life. "This is home," he said, eyes bright with genuine pride. But let's not pretend the decision was simple. Even Freley admitted he learned a ton from that long flight to Seattle, granted an insider's view into another franchise, absorbing Macdonald's defensive vision and mentally ticking off lessons on leadership and scheme. Could those Seattle insights hint at a future jump? Some insiders believe that Freley's clause, "If the opportunity rises again, I'd consider it," is a strategic olive branch to both his Detroit bosses and any team eyeing his next move. Is this loyalty or long-term positioning? On the field, the impact is immediate. As run game coordinator, Freley will now sculpt the ground attack more directly, collaborating with Steve Oliver to design power schemes, zone runs, and creative angle blocks. Fans are already wondering if Freley's extra capacity will unlock yet more from Jahmyr Gibbs and Brian Robinson Jr., turning this offense into a top 5 rushing unit. Could this be the spark that sends Detroit into the playoffs? Could opponents suddenly find our backfield unblockable? Yet, there's another layer to consider. By staying, Freley closes the door on what appeared to be a Dallas or Seattle opportunity. That raises the question, did Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes offer Freley something irresistible behind closed doors? A promise of eventual promotion? A bigger say in personnel decisions? A path to offensive coordinator duties in 2026? The mere fact that we haven't heard anything concrete only fuels speculation. Are we witnessing a golden parachute for Freley, or a genuine desire to retain his unparalleled expertise? Now, let's also think about the linebackers and tight ends. With Freley dedicating more focus to the trenches, will we see improved edge setting on outside runs, better double-team schemes for first-round guard Logan Stenberg, and a more ruthless physicality from center Frank Ragnow? His fingerprints were already all over last year's success. Now, with an expanded play-calling portfolio, Freley could elevate this Lions line to all-pro status. Some fans remain cautious. They ask, does Freley's decision to stay hint that he lacked confidence in seizing the Seahawks coordinator role, or does it simply underscore faith in Detroit's trajectory under Campbell? Either way, his public gratitude, "We've built something special here," resonates deeply. In a league where coaching turnover is the norm, stability at the O-line coach and run game coordinator spot is as valuable as any free agent signing. So, as we prepare for Sunday's clash against the Eagles, keep in mind that Freley's choice sends ripples through our entire game plan. The offensive line, already our largest advantage, may become our single greatest weapon. And while we savor the relief of his return, let's not ignore the questions. What did he learn in Seattle? How will those lessons reshape our approach? And is this the calm before the storm of a bigger promotion in Detroit's future? Stay tuned, Lions fans, because next we'll unpack how Freley's dual role might shift the balance of power in the NFC North, explore possible adjustments to our preseason depth chart, and predict which assistant coaches could step up in his expanded absence from pure O-line duties. The excitement is just beginning. If you're as fired up about every coaching twist in Detroit as I am, tap that like button, subscribe to Lions News Fan Report, and ring that bell right now, because we're about to dive into how Hank Freley's decision reshapes not just the trenches but the entire strategy for 2025. Imagine the scene at Ford Field next season. Freley, armed with his new dual titles, pacing the sideline alongside Dan Campbell, headset snug, clipboard in hand. His influence will extend beyond the offensive line to the very heart of our ground and pound identity. With Freley calling the run game, linebackers will face new zone blocking looks and power schemes designed to win the line of scrimmage at all costs. Could we see a dramatic uptick in Isaac Guerendo's YPC? Will Brian Robinson Jr. explode for 200 yards behind a fearsome front five? Those aren't pipe dreams. They're plausible outcomes under Freley's proven system. Meanwhile, Quentin Nelson's transition from guard to unmovable force at tackle will be overseen by Freley's keen eye. That move alone could deter every bull rush in the division. And let's not forget rookie Wyatt Davis, whose one-on-one drills with Freley have vaulted him into starting contention. With Freley's mentorship, Davis could become the steal of the draft, giving Detroit an interior punch that few defenses can contain. Offensive coordinator Shiraz Smith, freed from some run-game duties, will lean into play action more heavily, exploiting defenses overcommitting to our rushing attack. Picture Jared Goff faking the plunge to Jahmyr Gibbs before launching a dart to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Freley's run game opens the aerial floodgates. Could that propel Goff into MVP conversation? It's not fantasy. It's the logical evolution of a Freley-led attack. Critics will question whether adding responsibilities will dilute Freley's focus. But consider his track record: 8 seasons in Detroit, a championship-caliber line every year, and praise league-wide for his teaching methods. If anyone can juggle multiple roles without missing a beat, it's Hank Freley. As we look ahead, one big question remains: will Freley's retention stoke rival interest in our coaching staff? Other teams surely took notice when he interviewed. In Seattle, now that he's recommitted, could that loyalty itself become a recruiting pitch for future Lions assistants? And what about the long game? Might Freley one day ascend to offensive coordinator or even head coach, carrying Detroit's culture forward? Detroit, the pieces are in place for a historic 2025 campaign. We have continuity at quarterback, defensive, upgrades coming, and now stability in our run game under one of the NFL's finest line builders. The Motor City is roaring back, and Freley's choice to stay is the spark that could ignite a championship run. But what do you think? Are you as optimistic as I am about Freley's expanded role? Which potential rushing statistics excite you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I can't wait to read your takes. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Lions News Fan Report, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Go Lions!